What is going on, everybody? I think we should be live here. Yeah, I just had the. Let's do a check 1 2. You know how we do here. So yeah, We'll get everything started here in a second. You know how we do here. So yeah, we'll get everything started here in a second. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and share this. Try to get some people in here. So we'll go ahead and copy the link. Usually take a while to get us up and running here. But we should be good to go here. My apologies. But so you should be able to hear me fine, everything like that. I'm not gonna trip too much about it. Jake Fraley, the thumbnail person, just due to the fact that I was looking at it, I was like, who do I want to be on the thumbnail for this live stream? And if you go over to position players and look at the leaders in WAR, Jake Fraley with that 3.3 WAR, 24 homers on the season, only 400 at bat, 399 at bats. Stuart Fairchild actually finished with a 2.5 WAR, which is good for second on the team. And you got Spencer Steer. These guys are the one guys, they're not hitting 400 at bats, and there are three best players. So unfortunately, you look at Steer, he struggles against right-handed pitching. You look at Fairchild, he's actually pretty decent against right-handed pitching. I don't think he's honestly that bad. And you look at Fraley, he can crush right-handed pitching, but it's left-handed pitching that he kind of struggles on. And we'll get a look at all of it here shortly. Elly De La Cruz did finish with a 240 average, 17 homers. And I want to say he probably had the most at-bats on the team. Early on, he was our leadoff hitter for most of the season. Gio Urshela does actually have more at-bats, almost 70 more at-bats, seeing as how he only missed 4 games all season. Probably would have been games that he just took a break on. So yeah, I want to take a look at stats first before we get into the playoffs. And from there, we will get into the offseason and get it rolling. I don't want to take way too long on this, but let's go ahead and actually look at player statistics. You look at games, Gio Urshela did lead the way with 158 games played. Can we look at AA and AAA? No. I waited too long to look at them. So yeah, Gio Urshela did lead the way with 158 games played. Elly De La Cruz was second, and then Jonathan India. Big thing. These guys didn't. Jake Fraley and Spencer Steer each with 111. I think the big thing is that it seems like injuries kind of hurt this team a little bit. My fault. I can't really think, but yeah, injuries were a big deal. And then Tyler Stevenson only 109 games, Winker 108, Heriberto Hernandez actually played pretty good. And then we already talked about at bats. Urshela led the way, then De La Cruz, and then India. Runs, Urshela all around was like our best production player just because he didn't miss any games. He was second in the team in home runs with 23, as Fraley led the way with 24. Winker 19, De La Cruz and India each with 17. And Heriberto Hernandez, a rookie catcher whose potential I believe is only 71. So that really is unfortunate because we're not really going to see that much growth out of him. I do really like him a lot, and I think he put together a really good season. RBIs, Gio Urshela led the way with 79 RBIs, and Fraley was 74. If Fraley plays every day, he's probably a 100 RBI guy. And then Jonathan India was 63, and Elly De La Cruz with 54. Looking at stolen bases, De La Cruz did have 31 stolen bases, which was really good. I think he could eventually be a 30-30 guy, if not potentially a 40-40 guy. I think the power is going to have to be something that improves a lot, but I think he had a pretty good year on the bases. India and Fairchild each with above 10. And then looking at batting average, Jonathan India batted 295. Jake Fraley bats 286. And then Spencer Steer ends up batting 280, which at one point I think that we almost sent him down to AAA because he just was struggling to hit. I don't know what his potential is, but he is C potential, but he might be maxed out. But he had a pretty good year, something that I was definitely impressed with. The vision, discipline, and clutch all sitting in 60s, and then he can hit left-handed pitching really well. which gives me an idea to potentially move him to left field and platoon him with Jake Fraley. Winker batted 271, which was really good. Stuart Fairchild 262. Gio Urshela 259. Heriberto Hernandez 252. And then as we get down here towards these guys, Matthew Nelson, Nick Plummer, and 107 at-bats was not good. And then these guys, I think, were on the big league roster to start the year, but didn't finish there, obviously. On-base percentage. 373 on-base percentage for Jake Fraley, 367 for Winker, 360 for India. These were guys that were really good at getting on base. Nick Plummer, Matthew Nelson, guys that really weren't. And then Elly De La Cruz with that 307, he's not going to walk that much. Slugging, Fraley up above 500 at 529, OPS 902, and then two guys in the eights, which was India and Winker. Walks, Fraley, and Winker. Two of our best on-base guys. That's why I do believe Winker. Unfortunately, it looks like that power is going down a little bit, but I think he'll be our everyday DH next year, seeing as we have him for another, which should be 1 year. So, strikeouts. Elly De La Cruz struck out 149 times, which was not good. Last year, in 23 games, he only struck out 18 times, so that number was actually way up. His slugging was actually up this season, so he was hitting the ball a lot harder. His ISO was also up, but his strikeout percentage was up. He walked a little bit more, but obviously last year was a small sample size. Gio Urshela with 116 strikeouts. Jonathan India with 93. Fraley with only 83 strikeouts. Jesse Winker only 64 strikeouts. Really good year for him. Doubles, India with 36. Elly De La Cruz with 31. Matt Rex says, what's up? What's going on? And then Gio Urshela with 31 doubles as well. Fraley only had 21 doubles. He's actually not that slow. He's actually 64 speed, so just really wasn't getting a lot of doubles. He has more home runs than doubles, it's kind of crazy to really think about. Triples, 4 triples for De La Cruz, and that's, we didn't hit a lot of triples, it didn't feel like. Total bases, plate appearance, sac flies, intentional walks, 4 for Stevenson, okay. Stolen base percentage. Well, in year 2, we started out really good. Right before the All-Star break, we went on like a 10-game losing streak. And so when we went on the 10-game losing streak, everything fell apart. We weren't able to bounce back. We traded away C.J. Cron and Randall Grichuk. They're both old, and they weren't really contributing the way we wanted them to. So we traded them away for a little bit of, kind of prospects, you could say. And then the team really was never able to turn it around. And we finished, I think, with 2 more wins than we did in year 1, which we finished with 69 wins. So not a great year. So we're going to be very aggressive here in this offseason video. One thing that we did struggle on was fielding as well. The MLB average is a 985 fielding percentage. Here's guys that we had below that number: Jake Fraley, Elly De La Cruz, Gio Urshela, and Jonathan India. There's 4 guys below that number who are everyday guys for us, and realistically, they're our best players. So some of our best players are, 69. We could have went for that 70th win, but why stop at 60? I mean, why go past 69? Just stay at 69. You're not making the playoffs, so it don't matter. And then WAR we already talked about at the beginning of the live stream. So, we got the guys here that led. Anybody negative, we have Nick Plummer, Matthew Nelson, Heriberto Hernandez, surprisingly with a negative WAR. Gio Urshela with only a 0.9, which is kind of crazy. One of the big reasons, if you look at his year, as a matter of fact, he played about the same as he did the year before. So, but if you look at his WAR compared to last year, it's actually down, which is surprising. ISO, Jake Fraley was really good. Let's just put it that way. If he had more at-bats, he probably would have been an all-star. And then I think that's really about it. Last thing I wanted to look at here was like our average versus righties. Fraley, 305 average. India. Here's some guys that really weren't that good against right-handed pitching. Stuart Fairchild. Actually we hit right-handed pitching pretty well. I think it's probably hitting against left-handed pitching that isn't that great. India 313, Steer 296. I think 119 average versus lefties for Jake Fraley. Tyler Stevenson did not hit lefties well. Heriberto Hernandez didn't hit him well. Elly didn't hit him well. Winker didn't hit him well. Urshela didn't hit him well. we had three guys that hit lefties pretty well. Stuart Fairchild, Spencer Steer, Jonathan India. Other than that, nobody else hit lefties that well. But against righties, we only had 2 guys who didn't really hit righties that well. So we need some guys that can hit left-handed pitching. I think that's a big thing moving forward. Now we're going to look at pitchers here. Most wins on the year was Nick Lodolo. Hunter Green had 5 wins. Losses, 17 for Lodolo. He had the most innings pitched. We had 32 saves from Alexis Diaz. Nick Lodolo walked a lot of guys. He actually had 187 strikeouts, though, which was a really good year for him. Hunter Green would have probably hit 200, but he missed like a month and a half. That was another reason that we kind of struggled here in year 2 was injuries were a big thing. We just really struggled with injuries. ERA, Joe. Oh, my gosh. Sorry, I'm not sick or anything. It's just I'm talking, so. Yeah, Joe Jimenez had a rough ERA. Joe Ross, who we signed, I think we got him for 2 years with a terrible contract. We probably should just rock, but we were still trying to win games. Terrible contract by us. Jonathan Hernandez, Graham Ashcraft with a 4.7. You look at his contract of the future. Nick Lodolo, 4.5 ERA. Did go up a little bit. These guys right here are not safe. Austin Davis here. We got him. He did his thing. Joey Lucchesi is a guy who I think could probably be in the starting rotation next year. Lucas Sims. And then the rest of these guys here with these 3 ERA, not bad. And then Tony Santillan left away. He's been my favorite player, I think, out of the bullpen so far. I think he pitched well. Phil Bickford never really got his chance, which is a little unfortunate. I thought we could give him a chance, but he'll have a chance going into this next season. And then whip, some low whips here. Hunter Green with a 1.16, Lucas Sims, and then Tony Santillan. But these guys here, I just kind of want to look at WAR. Hunter Green with a 3.0 WAR, Nick Lodolo. Joe Jimenez with a negative WAR, and Joe Ross with a negative WAR. Rest of these guys, not too bad. Alex Reyes, surprising. Lucas Sims, and Alexis Diaz. Alex Reyes, Lucas Sims, and Hunter Green are getting the strikeouts for us, but guys like Nick Lodolo, that's not a bad walk per 9, really. So Diaz has been decent. I'll show you real quick. Last year was rough. He had 9 blown saves. His ERA was 4.08 with a 1.4 whip. He wasn't bad, but it seemed a lot of games he really struggled. He was 1-9, so he had 9 losses with the 9 blown saves. This year he was a lot better. Not as many saves, but he only blew 4 saves, and he had a 3.19 ERA. Whip was actually higher, which is surprising. And then here's his WAR and then his FIP. Compared to what he did in real life in 2022, he's been very bad compared to what he did in real life of 2022 and what he's doing in real life of this year. Looking at the FIP, Hunter Green did his thing. Austin Davis, his FIP indicates that he was probably better than what his ERA and WHIP are indicating. Alexis Diaz, that's not a bad FIP. Then you get down here like the 4s and everything, and kind of shows these guys were a little bit rough. Graham Ashcraft, Nick Lodolo, both above 4. And really, that's about it, This is hitting, I would imagine. We got to go to this. No. All right, but yeah, that's our team stats. Our player stats. If we go to the team rankings here, we can see where we finished as far as batting average. I looked at this the other day. We finished 19th in average. Runs, we finished, I think, 19th. So we're like middle of the pack offensively. Hits, 19th. Doubles, it's tied for 17th. Home runs, 11th. Stolen bases, tied for 23rd. Strikeouts, 12th. So we actually didn't strike out that bad. Slugging, 15th. Errors, 30th. We committed 2 more errors than the 29th team, so defensively we're really bad. Offensively, we're middle of the pack on offense. Defensively, we are worse than baseball. Fielding percentage, worse than baseball at a 982. We need to be up here more in like the 980, realistically, probably 986. That puts us middle of the pack. That's my goal for the next season, is to be at least middle of the pack defensively, improve a little bit offensively. And then looking at pitching, we were the third worst pitching team as well, ERA. We had one shutout, one complete game. We had 6 shutouts, which is tied for last. Saves, we were almost last. Blown saves, tied for 5th. So we actually didn't blow a lot of saves, but we didn't have a lot of opportunities. Runs allowed, 28th. So earned runs, 28th. Home runs allowed, tied for 22nd. Strikeouts, I feel like we got some strikeouts. We were 11th in strikeouts. So we got some strikeout closers. But yeah, that's kind of an indication. We were mediocre hitting, terrible defensively, and terrible pitching. That's just where we got to improve. We look at league leaders here. Brendan Donovan was your batting title winner, which we'll look at the awards here in a little bit. Jonathan India finished 14th. The in real life Reds' biggest problem is health, really. I think it's got to be health. More so health to our starting pitching. Hunter Green's going to be out until about August, I've heard. Nick Lodolo, August as well. And they're 2 guys that, if healthy, I think could really help this team out, because we have starters who are going out there and just playing terrible. Like 3 or 4 earned runs every game is not good. The Reds can't continue to try and win games 7-6 or 8-7. You're going to have to win games that are like 2-0 or 1-0, 2-1. You're going to have to win those games. And if you're pitching, more specifically, your starting pitching can't go out and give you 5-6 solid innings most games, then that's a problem. So I think if the Reds are going to be aggressive at the trade deadline, I think their approach will probably be pitching help, probably more towards the starters, not necessarily the bullpen, even though I do believe the bullpen needs some help too. That's what I kind of imagine. I think it's the starting pitching is probably the biggest problem. Looking at hits, Brendan Donovan, at-bats, Tyler Wade, doubles, Adames, triples, home runs. Miguel Sano revived his career. He doesn't even play in 2023. Comes back in 2024 and puts together a 44 home run season. Crazy year for him. Mitch Haniger, look at the RBIs here. How many at-bats did Sano have? 585 at-bats. Runs, stolen bases. We actually finished 3rd with De La Cruz. Base on balls. Can we find the strikeouts? That'd be interesting. Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna both over 1,000 in OPS. Here's your saves, ERA. I don't know if Hunter Green can even qualify to be on this list. Yeah, I don't think he can. Shutouts. Here's strikeouts right here. Nick Lodolo finished 6th in the NL, so really good there. Pitching war, Corbin Burns. Batting war, Francisco Lindor. And then American League, we'll kind of go through this quickly. Aaron Judge and Yordan. Nathaniel Lowe is a guy that I would really like to have on the team. He's got 1 more year of arbitration left. I would really like to have Nathaniel Lowe. At bats, double, Shohei with 47. George Springer, Yordan, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jorge Mateo with 40 stolen bases. On base percentage, 440 for Aaron Judge. That's ridiculous. Michael King, 46 saves. ERA, Alek Manoah, which in real life, I mean, this poor dude, 95 overall, A potential. In real life, this guy is terrible. He's not at the big league level, and he's just terrible. It's sad, to be honest with you. Crazy stuff. Whip, pitching war, Shohei Ohtani, 5.5. And then Alejandro Kirk, 7.6 war. Incredible. 7 speed. Shohei. All right. So I think awards, that's the last thing we got to look at. I'll tell you right now that Elly De La Cruz did not win Rookie of the Year. Most valuable player was Dansby Swanson. Cy Young, Corbin Burns for the 2nd year in a row. Brendan Donovan, 2nd year in a row for batting title. Reliever of the Year, AJ Minter. Matt Frazier wins Rookie of the Year, and he is a C potential player. I think that he was D potential when the year started. I was going to move him if he wouldn't move up, but he wins Rookie of the Year. Good year for him. Juan Soto, Hank Aaron Award, and then here's your Gold Gloves. I'm not going to name every single player. We did not get a single award. Corbin Carroll, really good year for him, and a really, really good start to his career in real life. Brian Reynolds, a guy that I'd really like, 29 years old. He should be a free agent unless the Pirates are able to bring him back. He might be somebody we try to go after. And then Mookie Betts, for the third year in a row, is a Gold Glove player. Last year, Stevenson was Silver Slugger catcher. This year, it goes back to Real Muto. Miguel Sano, crazy. He really revived his career. Juan Soto. And that is it there. Actually, last year, Trace Thompson was the World Series MVP. Will Smith was the postseason MVP. And then let's look at American League here. It's Yordan Alvarez. Dylan Cease wins Cy Young. Aaron Judge batting title. Johan Duran with your Reliever of the Year award. Tristan Casas, Rookie of the Year. Good year for him, batting 280, 24 homers. Felipe Beltran came in second, which was a guy that we really wanted to take in the very first draft. Really good year for him. Really good year. Power versus lefties going down a little bit. Aaron Judge. And then here's your Gold Gloves. Silver Sluggers now. Alejandro Kirk. Really good year. Surprisingly, Nathaniel Lowe does not win it this year. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Ramon Urias won it last year. This year it was Rafael Devers. Bo Bichette, Yordan, Aaron Judge, and Mike Trout. And then last year's postseason MVP was Rafael Ortega. So, I believe that's the last thing that we're going to look at here. Top prospects, you got Bautista, as you guys know. Yeah, I think that's it. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to go ahead and simulate this day by day to figure out who is going to win the World Series here. Now it's time for the playoffs to finally begin. Angels win Game 1. Milwaukee wins Game 1 over there. The Angels beat the Yankees 2-0. The Texas Rangers won up on the Indians. My fault. The Guardians. My fault. Milwaukee 2-0's the Giants, and then Philadelphia about to advance. The Texas Rangers advance, and the Philadelphia Phillies advance. So we have the Los Angeles Angels versus the Houston Astros, the Texas Rangers versus the Baltimore Orioles. Then you have Milwaukee Brewers versus Los Angeles Dodgers, Philadelphia Phillies versus St. Louis Cardinals. We'll go through this fairly quickly here. Can somebody please beat the Dodgers? That's literally the only thing that I ask. As Philly wins 3-0 against St. Louis, so they're going to NLCS, and the Dodgers are going to beat the Milwaukee Brewers 3-1. And then we're about to... Okay, both tied at 2. All right, Angels versus Rangers. So the Rangers beat Baltimore, and the Angels beat Houston. Last year, it was the Dodgers versus Yankees in the World Series. Dodgers won the World Series. Can somebody please just beat the Dodgers? I'm just getting sick of it. They're going to sweep. Okay, Phillies come back. It's 3-2 now. Dodgers are going to the World Series. Can the Rangers come back now? Game 7 it is. And it's the Texas Rangers versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Can somebody, I don't care, can somebody just, what was that? Okay. So Adam Bird, remember this guy? I don't know if you guys remember Adam Bird. Shortstop for the Tigers. I know I'm getting sidetracked here, but he just got sent down to Class A. He was from the very first draft. Yeah, and he is not good at all. Poor guy. All right, here we go. Let's actually, I was going to look at, yeah, okay. Texas wins the first game. I'm just going to look at this just because sometimes you can see this is where the waivers really kind of open up. Texas, okay, Dodgers. We'll do it like a couple of days at a time. Texas. Okay, the Rangers are up 3-1. They can finally potentially knock off the Los Angeles Dodgers. Can they get it done? Dodgers win Game 5. Game 6. Dodgers win game 6. Alex Claudio. No way. All right, here we go. Game 7 of the World Series. Texas Rangers versus Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Los Angeles Dodgers have won back-to-back World Series. They come back from 3-1 down against the Texas Rangers. If you can't win a World Series, if you can't close it out up 3-1, you don't deserve to win. That's just the facts. Crazy. Just crazy. All right. With that being said, Randy Wynn, or Wine, or however you say his name, he is going to retire because of ability reasons. Interesting to see Joey Votto still has not decided to retire. I think at this point, we're just going to have to let him walk. Chris Archer goes ahead, retires. Tim Beckham. I remember this guy, but I can't really remember. Michael Brantley retires. Interesting that. Okay, so Brantley played. He was actually not playing last year. He was a free agent all year. Fernando Cruz was a guy that we had at one point. Enrique De Los Santos, 28. Okay, I thought this was Edwin Diaz from the Mets. I was about to be like, wow, okay. All right. So Joey Votto still has decided he's not going to retire, which is just interesting. Max Scherzer's going to the Hall of Fame. Pretty smart decision to allow him in. All right. So now we can take a second to shit. If there's anybody in here, can you guys hear me okay now? I bumped this mic. I don't want you guys to not be able to hear me. All right. Nobody's pending on the waivers. Okay, appreciate it. So nobody's pending on the waivers here. I know coach contracts. Was that something? Yeah, staff. So David Bell, I think, is done. I'm not going to be bringing him back. Dave Roberts, not going to be paying that much money. AJ Hinch, who is he the manager of in real life? So we got to think about what we want to. Okay, Peter Swanson can give us good speed, good clutch, good arm accuracy. I think that might be the way to go, just off the bat here. So here's David Bell. I'm not gonna be bringing him back. I just think that it doesn't make sense to bring him back. I do like him in real life. I root for him in real life to be a good manager for the Reds. Just here in the game, no reason to bring him back. Junior Venner. I could bring him in if Peter Swanson doesn't work out. But I'm going to go Peter Swanson to start. Give him a 3-year deal. He's looking for about 5.1 per year. We don't want to overpay, but if we went like 3 years, $16.5 million deal, it's a little bit more than what he wants. We're not necessarily going to be overpaying. He actually has never been a manager ever in his career, I guess. You know, and he's an A manager. His overall is like A, so let's go ahead and offer him, see what that does for us. So we got him offered, and then third base coach here, Peter Swanson, we got hired. I mean, here as a manager. Holy crap, if I could talk. What about Satchel Frank? Let's just go with Junior Venner. Three-year, $3 million. That's what we're going to go with here with Venner. So that's what we're going to go with here. We got two guys here. We could rebrand the team. We're not doing that. Exclusive free agent deals here. Joey Votto. Man, you got to retire, dude. I don't know how I can justify giving this dude a deal. I don't want to, but I cannot let Joey Votto walk. Lucas Sims, he will be a free agent. Okay, so that's somebody we do have to think about potentially bring him back at 30 years old. I think he's been good for us. I do like Lucas Sims. I think a 3-year deal would be more up my alley of what I would like to give him. We could go somewhere in the middle. He's not depth. He is a bullpen arm. So I think 3 years. Let's go 3-year, $12 million deal, bullpen arm. I don't think we're overpaying for him. So that's what we'll throw out. Alex Reyes, he's probably going to want more money. He's actually the same age, which is interesting. I'm interested in giving him a 3-year deal as well. And I think we could go 3-year, $10 million deal for Alex Reyes. So that's what we'll go with those two. Nick Plummer, we're going to... he's such an interesting player because he's not that bad. Let's go ahead and pick up that option. And then Joe Ross, decline that option. We don't want him back. Brad Hand. No. Don't really care about Brad Hand and Joe Ross. So the big ones is Lucas Sims, Alex Reyes, and Joey Votto. Those are the ones we're going to go with there. What's the trade block looking like? Giancarlo Stanton, 35 years old, could be on the move. Chris Paddock at 29 years old could be on the move. Interesting. I think you could probably get him for cheap. Frankie Montas and Nick Castellanos all on the trade block there. Let's go Lodolo and Ashcraft. Put them on there. We could see about Stevenson. I'm not going to probably make a move there. And let's just go with something like that. And we'll just simulate day by day. See if anything changes. I highly doubt it is. Peter Swanson is no longer considering our offer. So that does kind of suck. So what we're going to do here is Junior Venner is going to be a guy that we're going to offer as our we're going to go third base coach. I think now we're going to offer him as our manager. Let's go 3-year, $10 million. And then we need a third base coach. Let's go Marty Jarvis here. And I think 3-year, $3 million. And that's what we're going to go with there. And see if that helps us out any at all. And okay, so Lucas Sims did. Okay, so Alex Reyes did re-sign, so that's good. Those are your last trades. Actually, I was gonna go look. I wanted to look at one thing real quick, and that's the Rangers, CJ Cron. So CJ Cron ended up having 28 homers to end the season. We got rid of him. I think it was the good move. I think it was a good move to trade CJ Cron. You know, we weren't going to get anything out of him anyway. All right, so now we just need Lucas Sims to sign. We will stop simulating. I think we got Lucas Sims. So, yep, we re-signed Lucas Sims to a 3-year, $12 million deal. So we got not young. They're 30 years old. 2 30-year-old bullpen arms for relatively cheap. If I had to, assume Marty Jarvis here, we're gonna have to actually up his offer a little bit. It's about 3.45 total over 3 years, just because I want to make sure that we can get them. And with that being said, we are into free agency here. There's our pending offers. We can look at our coach contracts here, which nothing has changed yet. But now is where everything gets interesting. We have our tender contracts, our salary arbitration, and we can select our 40-man roster, which I'm not going to do right this second. But we're going to offer our arbitration. We got Jonathan Hernandez, Justin Dunn, Tony Santillan, Nick Senzel, and Austin Davis. With Hernandez, let's go ahead and... How old is he? 28 years old. I feel like we can get a pretty good offer. He's got 2 more years of arbitration. Let's offer him arbitration. Based on this, he didn't play that much. I think that if we made him an offer, it's going to be more than what he would be making this year anyway. So let's just offer him arbitration. And I'll give him what he made last year. I think that yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll do there. Justin Dunn, we can offer arbitration, which I think is what I'm going to do. Let's do something like that. Tony Santillan, if we offered him a deal, man, I think he is worth more than what his arbitration would be, but we're just going to keep playing the arbitration game. Nick Senzel, how much did he make last year? 1.5 is just not it. Is Nick Senzel somebody that would be worth, giving a deal to here? Or do we just keep playing the arbitration? That's what we're going to do. We're just going to give him arbitration. Austin Davis. I don't know what kind of money he's looking for. I think he pitched well for us. The ERA of 4.34, not great. But when you go over here to the FIP and it's at a 3.48, it's actually better than what it suggests. And so let's go ahead and offer him arbitration. Let's go $800,000. So we offered arbitration to all of these guys. I am interested in bringing all of them back, so that is why I have done that. Tender contracts, we can, give some contracts out to some guys here. Cam Collier, haven't even seen him really play at all. So therefore, I'm just going to go ahead and... How would this work? He does not have enough MLB service time for arbitration. If you have not reached an agreement on a contract by February 15th, you may renew his contract at any price greater than 80% of his salary from last season. So we will have to offer him, I think. Let's just do 2-year, 1.5, I guess. He'll still get arbitration, the way that I understand it. Phil Bickford. He's wanting... Look, I'm interested in doing something like that. Austin Hendrick, same thing with him. Christian Encarnacion Strand, same thing. Heriberto Hernandez, same thing. Jay Allen. Let's do like that. Just want to make sure we get him. Matt McClain here. Do something like that. Matthew Nelson. Geez, I don't know. No, I'm not offering Matthew Nelson. Charlie Cruz. Let's go. So this definitely is the most boring part, I would say, of the offseason. Cody Whitley. We'll offer him something like that. Landon Sims. Can't justify it. Otto Lopez. Let's do something like that. Victor Castaneda is a guy we traded from the Rays. Let's do something like that. Now the rest of these guys, we're just really just trying to bring them back. Unless I look at their thing, it's like 740,000. I'm not gonna deal with that. Marco Bautista. Let's give him 100K. This is overall. He's gonna be really good. I can't wait to get him up to the big league level. Ronald Hernandez, a catcher. Let's do something like that, I guess. Xavier Edwards. No, I'm not offering him. Felipe Campaneris. Somebody I'm actually excited for. We didn't get enough. I don't even think I player locked with him one time, so we got to definitely do that. All right, let's get through this here. He's not going to accept that, but... Connor Overton. Like, I don't... Ian Jabot. Logan Allen, we got him in the Randall Grichuk trade. I don't know how to feel about it. I think it was kind of a dumb pickup, but I just wanted to really dump Grichuk. Levi Stout here. Not going to do anything there. Just not trying to give somebody $600,000 who's not going to see the MLB field. These were some guys that we looked at here as free agents at one point. I don't even think I showed you guys that, but I just picked them up. They're C potential guys, 22, 23 years old. Was Ashton Creel the other one? No. It was Clinton Swan. Good contact versus righties. All right, so here's some people we didn't offer. Levi Stout, we didn't offer. Ian Jabot, TJ Hopkins, um, Xavier Edwards, Victor Castaneda, we sent an offer. Joel Connell, or Cannell, however you say it, didn't send him anything. Matthew Nelson, no. We did send Matt McLean something. Heriberto Hernandez and the rest of these guys we sent money to. Yeah, so we have our arbitration. We have our tender contracts. Not worried about the 40-man roster at the moment. Trade talks is something that we're going to look at soon. But first, we need to go ahead and look at free agency. All right. What are we going to do here? Shane Bieber. Max Fried is another guy at 31 years old. Shane Bieber is somebody I might potentially try to... this is going to be fun. Zach Wheeler, 34. I'm not interested in picking him up. Tyler Glasnow, 31. Soroka, 27. Who do we like more? Do we like Shane Bieber or Walker Buehler? So Walker Buehler is looking at 5-year, $117 million. He'd be looking for $26 million a year. 35 for Shane Bieber. Max Fried at 31. He'd be looking for about 23. Okay. Zach Wheeler's 34, so I'm not really interested in that deal. Tyler Glasnow. And you look at it, Glasnow pitched pretty well last year. Zach Wheeler. Look at the deal that the Phillies are trying to send over. I can't do Zach Wheeler. What is he looking at? About 15 a mil. 15.3 a year. I don't think I can make that deal. Pablo Lopez, 21.1 mil a year. It's interesting because you look at Tyler Glasnow. What are you looking at? Are you looking at what he did last year? How much is he looking for? 19.9 at 31 years old. Pablo Lopez is 29, and you're talking about maybe two more mil a year. And when you look at Pablo Lopez, his consistency is just there. He's not going to give you a lot of strikeouts. He's more of a pitch-to-contact guy with that 68 K per 9 versus 79 for Glasnow. You don't know with Glasnow, are you getting 2023 Tyler Glasnow or are you getting 2024 Tyler Glasnow? That is the big thing. The WAR was really good either way in both those years. So I think Tyler Glasnow is what I want to go with here. And I would be interested, do we call him our ace? Do we front load the contract? I think a player option helps maybe potentially bring him in. If we front load it, we're not going to have that much more money right now. I think front loading it would probably be the best thing to do. I think we offered him 21 mil. So if we went 5-year, 105 mil, front loaded, and we give him a player option, so about $21 million a year. That puts us up there, man. That puts us up there. 5-year 105. You know, so it's a lesser deal than what it would take to get somebody like Walker Buehler or Shane Bieber. But I do think at 31 years old, he's right there with these guys. Obviously. 6'8", 225. Big dude. He would be really good for our rotation. Last now I'm going to offer here. Marcus Stroman, interesting guy, but his ERA doesn't really jump off the board to me. I wouldn't mind getting somebody that's a little bit older that we think can come in here and do some damage for us. Michael Lorenzen, bring him back to Cincinnati. I can't do that. Spencer Turnbull, though. Okay. Spencer Turnbull. Look at the ERA in the 2 years of this series. The whip, the WAR. You're looking for about 10 a year. Number will go up the more. Okay. So there's a deal for Spencer Turnbull. Okay, and then you got Alex Wood. 34 is a little bit older. Yanni Chirinos. Who did he play for last year? The Angels had a good year. Okay. John Means. Domingo. Nope. No way. Here's Herman Marquez, though. He actually. The whip was kind of high this season, so the WAR is going to affect. The FIP was rough. I don't think that's looking good. Sean Manaea here. ERA, look at that. Lance Lynn. No. Michael Wacha. Sonny Gray. Andrew Heaney, really weird right there. Really weird. Yusei Kikuchi, 33 years old. Whip was kind of high. I'm imagining that the FIP's high. Yeah. Nick Pivetta, okay. Look at the ERA. The whip was down this year. The WAR, okay. What are they trying to get here? 8.8 mil. Okay. We're going to hold off. We're going to hold off now. Relief pitchers, if we go look at the bullpen, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Phil Bickford, I want to give a chance this year. We could look at potentially, oh my gosh, if I could find it. We could look at relief pitchers. But I'm really not interested in paying a lot of money for a relief pitcher. Jordan Hicks would be crazy. That'd just bring us so much velocity to our bullpen. We could get him for cheap as well. Reynaldo Lopez. How did Jordan Hicks perform last year? Kind of high ERA-wise. Reynaldo Lopez, though. Looking for about 5.4. Diego Castillo. Hicks has been terrible. Okay. Good to know. Diego Castillo's got a pretty good ERA the past 2 years for Seattle. He's only looking for about 2.7. We can give him a 1-year deal. No, he wouldn't want that. Tanner Scott. Okay, he'd be a lefty for us. We don't have a lot of lefties. Okay, he's looking for about 4 a year. Matt Moore, no. Tanner Scott. Okay, he actually likes these deals a little bit more here. If we went 2-year, 8 mil, that puts us above the Marlins. I wouldn't mind sending that. But he's another guy who received a qualified offer, so kind of does suck a little bit. Looking at catchers, not really looking to make a move in that department. First baseman, we could try and offer a guy like Pete Alonso, but I'm going to hold off because I have a game plan moving forward. Christian Walker. Rowdy Tellez. I mean, these guys are older. You know, I don't want to bring in an older first baseman. That's not part of my plans. No, nothing that we need to do here. Third baseman. You know, I think that what we got at third right now is going to work for us. Left field, Juan Soto. I mean, you're talking about this guy hit free agency so young, 26 years old. How much does he expect in a year? 35 mil? Man. Verdugo, okay. Verdugo could potentially be the outfielder we've been looking for. $12.6 million a year. 28 years old. Man. Lourdes Gurriel at 31. But then you got Anthony Santander, who I actually really like. So it doesn't look like Brian Reynolds must have gotten an offer then. Austin Meadows here. So Santander is looking for 5.8 versus Verdugo, who's looking for 12.6. Santander is 30. But I'm going to offer him. So he's looking for a longer deal. I think he's an everyday guy. No option. Let's just go. I don't want to miss out on him. I want to give him a deal that he would like. 3-year, $20 million. It's a $6.7 million deal. We could even throw in a player option there. Let's go 3-year, $20 million, 6.7 per year. So we have 5 offers, and 4 of them are qualified. They were offered a qualifying offer. So we got Tyler Glasnow, Anthony Santander, Spencer Turnbull, Tanner Scott, and then Joey Votto. But 4 really. We got 4 like actual deals that we've tried here. Let's go to the 40-man. I want to remove some guys here. Pender. Let's go ahead and remove him from the 40-man. Will Smith. We didn't even really get a chance to look at him in the bullpen. Will Benson, Brandon Williamson, Matthew Nelson. We didn't. Let's remove Matthew Nelson. So now we have 36 guys. All right. Try and see. Is there one more guy that we can potentially remove? Nick Plummer, maybe. Yeah. Let's remove him. So now, man, a Santander deal could be crazy if we could get that done. Okay, Marty Jarvis. Okay, Shane Bieber has signed the deal to go to the New York Mets. It's a 9-year, $315 million deal, 35 mil a year, and that's it. That's the only one. Juan Soto got re-signed. Here's some guys that we re-signed. We didn't sign anybody other than the guys we re-signed, obviously. So we have Venner here. Is it third base? Jeez, if I could figure this out. Third base coach. Okay. George Carrasco. Okay. Let's go with something like that. We need to get some coaches here. Free agency. Did anything change with our deal? I mean, our offers. We're still ahead in a lot of these guys. We're going to be aggressive on them because these are guys that I want to bring in. Tanner Scott. He's been good. Do we potentially up that offer instead of 2-year $8 million? We do, because he doesn't want he wants a longer deal, I guess. Because it's not going to make a difference really. 2-year $8 million. Let's do 3-year 13. Yeah, 3-year 13. All right. Junior Venner is the new Cincinnati Reds manager. Junior Venner. I'm guessing we didn't get anything yet. I'm just checking it as often as I can, because if we have to change these offers, then that's just something that we're going to have to do. You know, that's the only reason that I'm going to continue to look at this, because a lot of these, somebody signed. We signed Spencer Turnbull to a 2-year, $26 million contract, making him, I believe, can we look at our budget? Yeah. Which I believe would be our new highest paid player. And it is interesting because he's our 5th highest overall player. What he's been able to do the last 2 years with the Detroit Tigers, and actually just overall, I think he makes for a good option. His WAR is good. The FIP is, you can work around it. I think that he's a good option to have. Another guy with great velocity, great break. Not going to get a lot of strikeouts, but that immediately makes our starters look a little bit different. Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Graham Ashcraft, and then you throw in Spencer Turnbull now. We want better pitching, and that's what we're trying to do here. You know, you never know. A lot of these deals aren't really changing right now. I'm going to do one more day. Hopefully that didn't. All right, somebody somewhere. Dodgers have Verdugo now. And we signed Tanner Scott to the 3-year, $13 million deal. So we have another lefty reliever. All right, so another lefty reliever now. Tanner Scott, he is a 73 overall, 3-year deal. He's 30 years old. And we could potentially look at another lefty, but I like what we're looking at right this second. Crazy that Spencer Turnbull is our 5th best player now. We need to make sure salary arbitration here. These tender contracts. These are guys that still have not accepted. Phil Bickford we're still waiting on. And then Santander and Tyler Glass now, we're right there. Just waiting to get the deals done on those two. How old is Glass now again? I feel like okay, so he's 31. No moves. George Carrasco is now our 3rd base coach. Waiting on these guys. Those are the only moves we're really waiting on. We expect that here in 3 days, the Reds have reached their maximum roster size and cannot sign any more free agents. Yes, we will stop. What does that mean for us? Did we okay, oh. So Glasnow's here. I don't remember what we had in on his deal. I could look at my phone and go back. Want to make sure that Santander is there as well. Man, this is our guy who, yeah, release. All right, so we need to go back here. Max Fried. Do we kind of change our approach here? I mean, Glasnow, Wheeler, I'm not interested in doing that deal. I mean, nobody's really here in the battle for Max Fried. Last year was a crazy good year for him. So, because of all this, Tyler Glasnow, there's a chance we don't even end up trying to sign him, and we just go for Max Fried instead. 31 years old. I mean, they're both 31. Soroka, nobody's really approaching him. And then he offers here. What would a Max Fried deal look like? You know, he doesn't want a big deal. I could do 3-year, 72 mil. I'm going to actually withdraw that because I do want Glasnow. And it was 5-year, 105 million. Was it a player option in there? 5-year, 105 million. Front-loaded deal. And then for Santander, it was like we had 3-year, 20 mil at first, but I think a 4-year deal worth 27 mil. Yeah, 4-year, 27 mil for Santander here. We're not getting better defensively with Santander, though. That is one thing. Why does it say Santander for 6.8 mil? Oh, I guess that would make, yeah, duh. 'Cause 21 mil per year is what we would be giving Glasnow. Let's put it this way, because when you look at Nick Lodolo, you're not really getting anything good out of him. A guy like Tyler Glasnow, the last 2 years has been, oh man. Now I don't know because you're going to get strikeouts with Glasnow, but when you look at the ERA, you don't know what pitcher you're getting. So is it better to go with Max Fried? I think it's better to go with Max Fried. I mean, $25 million a year is just crazy. We don't want a player option. We front load his deal. I mean, this is crazy if we go ahead and get Max Fried here because Glasnow, it's a risk because you don't know which guy you're getting. Are you getting the guy that had the 4.2 ERA or the 3.0? With Max Fried, you know you're going to get a lights out performer. You know you are. So therefore, I'm going to go with Max Fried, and that changes our offers here. drastically. But let's see what it brings. We are above everybody else. Here's some guys we could lose in the 40-man. So we could lose Rhys Hines. Nick Plummer, I'm not worried about. Jay Allen, we could lose. We could lose some guys, man. I'm tripping. I'm not worried. Rhys Hines would be the only guy that I'd really be worried about losing. All right. We can make these deals work. Spencer, it's crazy to think that Spencer Turnbull is our new highest paid player. He hit free agency, though, so that's just how it works. Somebody signed. There it is. Anthony Santander has signed. He will now be our new everyday right fielder. I think this is a good move for us. He's a good power hitter. His average isn't going to be great, but he makes us better he makes us better offensively, I guess. Defensively, he's not really going to make us any better. I think this was a good move. The year prior, he actually really struggled with 254 average, only 20 homers. Something I guess I should have looked at, but I guess I didn't. His fielding percentage went up. The year before, it was very low. But it went up this year to a 985. So we did get better fielding. If we can get this fielder, we're going to be a lot better. If we get this fielder, that's why the WAR was so low. But Anthony Santander makes us better. You know, he does. He makes us better. And now we're getting a little bit tight of a race here for Max Fried. Do we have to up it to a 6-year deal? Do we stay at 5? I think I'm going to go 5-year, 25, and we go player option in there. Then we front load it. Doesn't really move us that much. We got to get Max Fried, because if we don't, Glasnow will still be there, so I wouldn't be too worried. Our center field situation still really sucks. Oh, don't tell me we lost out on Fried. Okay. We need to get rid of some guys. William Chung, Clinton Swan, Adrian Castro. Man, this could make us a really good starting rotation. Arbitration has been offered to every single one of these guys. We got to get Max Fried. Come on, man. The Twins are really going to be trying to push for him. This is crazy. Mike Soroka is a Washington National. $16.3 million a year for a 5-year, $81.5 million deal. And that's it. Max Fried's offer is still out there. Worst case scenario, you got Walker Buehler. Big deals there for him. Glasnow's still there. We could get a Clayton Kershaw deal done, which don't want to do that. Way too old. Oh, man, nothing is happening. We're right there. I mean, the Twins, it seems like the Twins bar keeps going up one by one. All right, let's go ahead. Let's look at some things here. I don't think I'm going to be making any more moves. There are some relief pitchers that are still out here. Buck Farmer, who we traded a little while ago. Closing pitchers here. Liam Hendricks, Blake Trinan. Catchers. Here's your first baseman. I'm not gonna try and acquire any of these guys. If there's anybody out here that I thought that could be our everyday center fielder, maybe then I would. Matt Vierling. Look at that contact. And other than that, he just really okay, Jonathan Daza. 31 years old. I don't want a 31-year-old to be my everyday center fielder. Jose Alzacar. Why is he a free agent? It's kind of weird. Jake Myers. We don't really have an everyday center fielder right now. There are some moves that I'm looking to make. But man, we really want to get Max Fried. We're just gonna have to hope that the deal gets done. As we are going pretty deep into free agency now. These guys right here, I'm not worried about at this point. We will make moves and adjustments as we have to. And I don't know what's going on, but Max Fried must be waiting for the perfect offer. Glasnow's still there. He's not getting any love, really. It really feels like we could get both of them, but nah, there's no way you could get both of them. Unless we did something crazy. You know, I could offer him something like he would like a 2-year deal. I mean, I could go 2-year, 15 mil. There's no way that he would take that. With a player option. Okay, he said no. He said get that out of my face. All right. Oh my gosh, is Max Fried just not gonna sign or what? Willie Adames we're waiting. He's still waiting on a deal that he likes. Bregman's still waiting on a deal he likes. And there we go. The Cincinnati Reds have signed Max Fried to a 5-year, $125 million deal. It's $25 million per year. He'll be our number 2 going into this season. I think you're going to have Hunter Green, who's obviously still your number 1, but Max Fried is now your number 2 in the rotation. And with that being said, we didn't have to make too many moves, but I think we made our team better going into next season. Now, I don't know how you really go about it now, but I think we need some help, a little bit of help in some places. When you look at our pitching rotation now, you're going to have here are your for sure, your for certain guys. You're going to have Hunter Green, Max Fried, and Spencer Turnbull. From there, guys like Nick Lodolo, Graham Ashcraft they're not locked down. It would be nice to get one more lefty relief pitcher, unless we want Joey Lucchesi to play that role. We could, we could have Lucchesi play that role. But I'm going to try and potentially do one more thing here. Do we have any left? AJ Minter would be crazy. He's looking for 11.2 a year. I'm not doing that. Caleb Tealbar. Okay, 2023, he was ridiculous with Minnesota. Next year later, was not good. Aaron Loop, no. Tim Hill. Okay. I'm intrigued with Tim Hill a little bit now. Let's do something like that with Tim Hill. And then is there anybody in the outfield that could play center field? Kyle Isbell? No. Raimel Tapia. Okay. Didn't play anywhere in 2023. Then Boston scooped him up and he did his thing there. I don't know if Tapia would make us that much better if he started in center field for us. Because right now I think I am like somewhat satisfied with what we could have there. Could get Billy Hamilton back, 34 years old. Speed's still at 87. Really good defensive player. All right. Jorge Soler. Yeah, power versus lefties. All right. So Kershaw's not getting any deals because he's wanting a ridiculous contract. Evaldi. Lance Lynn. Sonny Gray could bring him back. Not going to do that, though. Matthew Boyd. James Paxton. Look at Luis Sessa. We traded him to Arizona, and he did really well, which is interesting because we did trade him. He's not been bad at all. Alex Cobb. Stroman is, I can't do that to myself. Now, Glasnow. We could do 2-year. He's probably not going to be interested in this one either. No. So he'd be interested in a 3-year, $30 million deal. $10 million per year. I don't buy that. No. Most definitely he's not. Because pretty much everybody's kind of offering him like an $11 million deal. He's not interested in it. We really would need Graham Ashcraft to step it up. You got Justin Dunn. Andrew Abbott, we really would need to step it up as well. This would be the last year that I give Lodolo up at this point. I don't think that I could do another year with him. The thing with Lodolo, like, we got 3 more years of control with Lodolo. 4 more years of control with Graham Ashcraft. Okay, so we do have that contract out there with Tim Hill. Let's go simulate a little bit more. Okay, so this is the draft lottery. This is something that they added. Right now, we have 4th best odds for the number 1 pick in the draft. Here we go. Do I have to hit something, or does it does it? And we will be picking 4th overall. The Diamondbacks had a 7.5% chance. They're up to number 1 now. And the Mariners and the Athletics, that's what you get for sucking. So there you go. We are going to be picking number 4 overall. We'll see what that can do for us. You know, I don't really care about the draft this year. We're trying to build a team that is meant to compete for a World Series, realistically. We signed Devin Kahn, so he'll be down at AA, which was what my goal was with him. Tyler Glasnow, man. It really makes you wonder. 4-year, $46 million deal. What is going on with that? Let's just get in on it, I guess. I don't know. It's probably not going to even let me offer that deal. Yeah, so like he's not even interested at all. Clayton Kershaw. What would a 1-year deal with Kershaw look like if we gave him $10 million? 1 year, $10 million deal for Kershaw, you know, put him in. It makes it interesting, I think. We'll see we'll see what happens. We got somebody. Okay, so we signed Tim Hill. I don't think I don't think I can go through with potentially getting Kershaw. That's just crazy. The fact that nobody wants him. I like Burleson. What about 24-year-old Sal Frelick to be our everyday center fielder? That's a risky move. What would it take to get that done? first we can look at the trade block here. Chris Paddock. I remember seeing him. Frankie Montas. What would it take to get... usually you wouldn't see this, but if we wanted to get Sal Frelick, what would that take? I think that it would take like Chase Petty. What's their short? They got Tim Anderson on the Cardinals now. You got Mason Wynn, who you don't really know how long it's going to take for him. You got Noelvi Marte. And you would probably have to get rid of Austin Hendrick as well. But then it makes you wonder, do we want to wait a little bit to see if Austin Hendrick can be that guy for us? Rhys Hines? Could you trade Rhys Hines away? So in order to get Sal Frelick, which we'd have to really be, this would be an aggressive move out of us. He's a contact guy. I'm not going to make a move yet. And the reason I'm not going to make a move is because there's a guy that I really do like that I think is fit to be our starting center fielder, and that's Stuart Fairchild. I think he can do it. I think Stuart Fairchild can be our starting center fielder. But we do need to make a decision about our 40-man. Okay, Joey Votto's got to go off of it. I'm going to go down here to Clayton Kershaw. I'm going to withdraw that offer. Ryan Mountcastle, what has caused him to struggle? I mean, his vision, discipline, and clutch is a little rough, a little frustrating for him. Yankees first base situation sucks. Vinny Pasquantino. Power versus lefties is not that good. Tampa Bay's got their guy. Brandon Lowe could play first for us. Andrew Vaughn here. I don't know if I like what I'm seeing out of his. Out of what he could give us. I think it's Alex Kirilloff or Jose Miranda. I do like what Jose Miranda could bring to the table. But I do like Alex Kirilloff as well. 27 years old. I think that a new place and a new place to play could benefit with him. The discipline isn't great. The clutch is at 83, which I think is pretty decent. The discipline, we just talked about. Vision is 69. He's going to play first base. He's decently rounded. He's a decently rounded player. And I think you get him for relatively cheap. We go Kirilloff for... Noelvi Marte. Or is that... I don't know. We're talking about actually, as a matter of fact, I think it's probably a fair deal. Noelvi Marte is not coming up. Alex Kirilloff, I've been wanting him for a while. I think we got to... It's got to work, though. That B potential... 27 years old, but it's got to work. That's the only thing. Nothing is really going down as far as his ratings go. He hasn't really been given an opportunity. 215 at bats his first year is the most he's had. We're getting a deal done. We are trading Noelvi Marte for Alex Kirilloff. I think it's a good trade. And so with Kirilloff, that does give us a better opportunity to have a good first baseman now. With that being said here, with Kirilloff, I do want to go in and edit him, his attributes. He's at 84 potential. And he's at 75 right now. He's got room to grow. We're also going to edit him real quick. His preferred number is going to be 20. Just because I don't want it to be... Okay, let's go in and make it 29. Because if he's going to be 29 instead of 20 anyway, let's just make it 29. I want to make sure everybody's weapons. Oh my gosh. Numbers are accurate in here for us now. I want to make sure that nobody's numbers got changed for whatever reason. Okay, well, Votto, your preferred number is 19. Gio is going to be our starting third baseman again this season. Unless Cam Collier can potentially beat him out in spring training, which I'm not really going to expect. Encarnacion and Strand. I want to do one thing. We do not have any shortstops. Let's go to... Sorry, this is where it gets kind of boring. Let's go to relief pitchers here. Let's sign a couple. Joel Connell. No. Jose Cisnero. No, I want to get some younger guys. Art Warren. Brad Hand. Didn't really like what he brought us last year. Cutter Crawford. Let's go ahead and give him a deal as well. And then shortstops, we need to bring in somebody. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Breaking news, everybody. Kevin Newman. Xavier Edwards, let's just go ahead and bring him back. I don't even know how we ended up landing him anyway. Jordy Barley. Jose Barrero. All right, let's go ahead and just bring in. What would Isaiah Kiner Falefa? I think Otto Lopez could honestly be our utility guy. I think at this point in his career, I think he would be deserving of a chance. We have a lot of outfielders, man. A lot of outfielders. Don't have a lot of third basemen. We got a lot of second basemen. Let's just do something like that. Walker Buehler is going to the San Francisco Giants, a 6-year, $157 million deal. Danny Jansen is going to the Cubs, a 3-year, $33.6 million deal. Okay. And then let's go to completed. We signed Richard Cabral. We re-signed Xavier Edwards, and we acquired Alex Kirilloff from the Twins for Noelvi Marte. So we should have a little more shortstop help. Okay, let's go. Cutter Crawford. How many people do we have? I think we're probably about to have too many people. Clifton Swan, I'm going to unfortunately release him. And then Ashton, oh my gosh, Ashton Creel. We're going to get rid of him as well. Today is the 2024 Rule 5 draft. What would you like to do? Go to the draft. I don't even know. I don't even think we can draft. No, we can't. Dang it. That's it. All right, Nick Plummer was taken. Aaron Sabata was taken. In round 2, Nick Sogard was taken. Look at that contact. Contact versus lefties is crazy. All right. So we signed Caden Griner. We signed Cutter Crawford. And we have 41 guys on our 40-man. All right, I don't know why this guy... Oh, gosh. Spencer Steer is a guy who I think I'm going to move to left field potentially. Yeah, so he's going to play left field. He's going to platoon with Jake Fraley. Just because Jake Fraley cannot hit left-handed pitching, we need somebody to do it. So it's going to be Steer. And due to that, I'm going to offer somebody to be able to play third base. Casey Schmidt. We signed Casey Schmidt. All right. And then how many relief pitchers do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. For about 6 per. Okay. We got one more guy, Aaron Fletcher, that we're going to try and get. Trade talks are done. We've made one. If we look at completed trades, we did one trade, and it was we acquired Alex Kirilloff for Noelvi Marte. And here's who we signed in free agency. Not a big list at all. We signed Spencer Turnbull to a 2-year, $26 million contract. Tanner Scott to a 3-year, $13 million. Anthony Santander, 4-year, $27 million. Max Fried, 5-year, $125 million. And then from there, it's some just filler guys, really, to easily make our highest paid player, Max Fried, making $31.3 million this upcoming season. By far our highest paid player. And it's going to be like that for a while. Up until his last deal, he's still going to be the highest paid player. We got to hope it pays off at this point because it's a lot of money that we spent on him. And, it is exciting. And as a matter of fact, Fried and Turnbull and then Anthony Santander isn't going to be even making that much money. 4-year deal for him. I'm super excited. Tanner Scott, pretty good player-friendly deal, I think, or a team-friendly deal. Gio Urshela, it's the last year for him. We have $20 million in available budget, and our player salary this year is going to be $137 million. I don't remember what it was last year, but this is a lot of money for sure. We just got to hope it works. Upcoming free agents will be so guys who, are going to be on their last year of their deal, and hopefully we can get a lot out of these guys. Nick Senzel will be a free agent. It's actually really hard to Joey Votto, Chad Pender, Will Smith, Jesse Winker, Joey Lucchese. A lot of our bullpen, really. And then not that many guys, so just go ahead and simulate here. You gotta imagine we probably got the one guy, right? Okay, yeah. Cool. Pablo Lopez finally gets a deal done. A 3-year, $63.6 million deal. Still waiting on Willie Adames, I do believe, right? And Tyler Glasnow still hasn't even. So Adames went somewhere. Twins got Nathan Eovaldi, AJ Mentor, Bobby Bradley. So it doesn't look like right now we're going to be making any other moves. I think that crazy as it seems, we're going to be giving Graham Ashcraft and Nick Lodolo one more chance to figure it out. This is their last chance. And I think Lodolo will be our 4, and I think Ashcraft's our 5. I think we allow Spencer Turnbull, or do we do like this? I think we want to break it up. We don't want to have back-to-back lefties, so I think we go righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty. And we do it like that. This is it, though. This is the last opportunity for Nick Lodolo. For sure, Nick Lodolo. Hopefully he improves. Other than that, I don't know. The bullpen's going to be interesting. We need to make sure that we have everybody on the 40-man that needs to be on the 40-man. Charlie Cruz, Vladimir Gutierrez, Richie Ott. I'm not... Ooh, should we actually... I think I want to add Richie Ott to the 40-man. But I think we need to give Brandon Williamson his last chance. He's somebody we might trade. And then, as a matter of fact, we would need to bring up Richie Ott. Castaneda's going to get his chance. I can't believe we had Chase Petty up here. He's slowly going to go through all of his options. But really the only guy that I would maybe like to have on this 40-man, as far as starters go, would be Richie Ott. Other than that, I think I'm good there. Landon Sims, I think we're good here. Will Smith, Tim Hill. Closing pitchers, I don't want Cody Whitley on there. I do want Otto Lopez on the 40-man, so we just got to figure out who's somebody we might get rid of here off of it. Cam Collier, that was dumb to put him on the 40-man last year. Matt McClain will remain on the 40-man. Let's go ahead and remove Will Benson from the 40-man. And we'll add Otto Lopez to it. And then we'll go ahead and make a trade. Brandon Williamson for Soli Matias. We got a 26-year-old. I think this is a fair deal all the way across the board. So that's what we're going to do there. And then we just got to make sure that guy didn't get added to the 40-man. Okay, he didn't. So good. And from there, I do want to add Richie Ott to the 40-man. And then let's continue the simulating. Clayton Kershaw does eventually sign a 1-year, $17.6 million deal with the Braves, effectively their replacement for Max Fried. Alex Bregman's going to the Tigers. Really weak deal. That was a really weak deal right there. Tyler Glasnow finally signs. It's a 4-year, $50 million deal with the San Diego Padres. Finally gets a deal done. I didn't know if he ever would, so Justin Dunn will be making $818 million. Tony Santillan will be making $2.2 million. Austin Davis will be making $976 million. Jonathan Hernandez will be making $1.8 million. And then Nick Senzel will be making $1.6 million. So that's your arbitration hearings, and now we're getting close to spring training. Let's stop it there. Renew contracts. We don't have anything to worry about there. I did want to go coach contracts. Junior Venner is our new manager, and then we also got George Carrasco, our new third base coach. Both guys signed for 3 years. Trade talks. Actually, third base were not that great. Free agents. What is Eli White? First base, we're 21st. Okay. Kirilloff, we're kind of banking on Kirilloff to be our guy. And it's a risk. He's 27 years old. There was one guy that, later on in the year, depending on what the Rangers are doing, Nathaniel Lowe, he's 29 years old. I'd really like to get Nathaniel Lowe. So, but for us, we were going to have Alex Kirilloff, a guy who, like we said, 59 games in 2021. That's the most games he's played in a season. Kind of a risk bringing him in. Where he struggles, I don't know. I think it's potentially discipline. I think he struggles maybe discipline-wise. So I think discipline is where I want to try and improve him in training. But with that being said, we got 40 guys on the 40-man here. One more day, and spring training is here. There's next year's free agents there. I want to see where we rank contract extensions. There's nobody that I'm really wanting to extend right this second. Man, I really hope Alex Kirilloff can be a good pickup for us, man. Because Gio Urshela is going to be our third baseman this year. We'll see how he performs. We'll be taking on the Cleveland Guardians. I want to do... Is there anybody that's... Okay, we didn't even look at the waiver wire. I think that we were good there. So we're going to have... Freed, Green, who are guys that are not going to be up at the big league level right now. Really, I'm not too worried about any of these guys. Relief pitchers. Got all the guys up that I want. Vance Coggin was our draft pick. Really excited about him. He was our second round pick, I think. Didn't really need any of these guys up. Kirilloff, he is our only first baseman. Otto Lopez is going to be our utility infielder this year, more than likely. Cam Collier, going to try and compete here. Christian Encarnacion Strand. At shortstop, Matt McClain will compete. But it is obviously Ellie De La Cruz who is going to be our guy. But we really need him to have a good year here. Mikey Ishii and Marco Bautista, guys, we're really waiting on at the moment. we'll edit Ishii in shortly. And then Jay Allen was a guy I did potentially have some interest in getting up to the big league level for the 40-man. We're not going to do that. It's just going to be Senzel and Fairchild. And then right fielders, Anthony Santander is going to be our everyday right fielder this season. The big thing, 30 years old. Oh, dang it. Gio Urshela is 33. I'm not worried. We do have some age. Santander, though, I think he's going to be really good. I do have high hopes. I think he can get it done for us. If he has a year like he had last year, he's going to be really good. Austin Hendrick is going to get his chance. Winker will probably be our everyday DH, if I had to guess at the moment. Will Benson, Reese Hines. And here's a guy right here, Soli Matthias or Matisse or Matthias, however you say it. Maybe you see him in the future. He could be a power guy for you. 26 years old. You're going to have to get him up soon, or he's not really going to have a chance. But we'll monitor him at the AA level and see what he looks like. I want to get Hunter Green, Max. So Hunter Green will be our opening day starter. Hunter Green, Max Fried, Spencer Turnbull, and then Nick Lodolo and Graham Ashcraft are our long relievers here. We're going to have Santillan. I just want to make sure Jonathan Hernandez, we want him to be a long reliever. I want Castaneda to get starts, so we will do something like this. And then Tim Hill is going to be somebody we're going to have to rotate in, along with Carl Edwards Jr. and Will Smith and Victor Castaneda, Chase Petty. These guys will eventually. So our lowest overall pitcher is Chase Petty. Yeah, it's Chase Petty and Tim Hill. But Tim Hill, we got him just because he has pitched really well. I think he's going to be at big league level for sure. Chase Petty there. And then lineup-wise, right fielder is Anthony Santander. And there's your first baseman right there. How are we going to do this here? I think that's what our lineup's going to look like right there. Jake Fraley in left, Jonathan India at second, batting second. Anthony Santander will be batting third, Tyler Stevenson. Ellie De La Cruz batting fifth, Alex Kirilloff. Jesse Winker, Gio Urshela, and then Stuart Fairchild. And then this right here, not really worried about this stuff when it comes up. Left fielder, I think is what it's needing here. Yeah. So left-handed pitching versus DH. I think I want to go, obviously we wanted, no, I want, Jesse Winker's our everyday DH. And then I wanted Gio Urshela playing third. I wanted left field to be Spencer Steer. Versus left-handed pitching, leadoff will be Jonathan India. Our third hitter will be Santander. All right. So versus right-handers, we're going to have Jake Fraley, Jonathan India, Anthony Santander, Tyler Stevenson, Ellie De La Cruz, Alex Kirilloff, Jesse Winker, Gio Urshela, and Stuart Fairchild. Pretty good mixture of people in the lineup. Against lefties, Jonathan India, Spencer Steer, Anthony Santander, Tyler Stevenson, Ellie De La Cruz, Alex Kirilloff, Gio Urshela, and Jesse Winker. And then Stuart Fairchild rounded it out. Only 2 lefties. And then over here, we only got 1, 2, 4 righties. So that is training I wanted to look at here. Alex Kirilloff. Fielding, I'm not worried about. He's going to be playing first base every day. I want him to focus on that vision, discipline, and clutch right now. So we're going to go hitting coach session with him. Depth chart. I think here in the future, we're going to be a really good team. I don't know if Alex Kirilloff ever makes that leap. We'd love to see it, but we would have to wait and find out. We have our lineup, pitching rotation set, our depth chart. We've looked at our roster. Let's go ahead and look at Mikey Ishii. Let's go ahead and edit him. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how I wanted to edit him. So we'll wait on him. Before you ever see him bat or anything like that, then you'll see. You are 2 hours and 7 minutes too late. I am actually about to end this live stream, no lie. So we finish now with $144 million in player salaries, and we have a $13.15 million available budget. We went all out this year. I said it was going to be aggressive, and it's going to be aggressive. We can't finish the way we did last year. We have to have a good team here. And as a matter of fact, if we look at standings here, where do we rank? We are considered the 18th best team in baseball. We're 9th in contact, 20th in power, 16th in pitching, still dead last in defense, and 20th in speed. So we're going to have a chance to be a good team. Brewers are 15th. Cubs are 22nd. Cardinals are 23rd. Pirates 27th. We're going to have a chance here. We're going to be, on paper, the second worst team in our division. Yeah, I've been live. Yeah, and thanks for all the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate it. But we're 18th in team rankings, so we're going to have a chance here. That's what it's going to take. Don't think there's anything else that I'm wanting to look at here. Top prospects in baseball, Marco Bautista. You see him here. And then Cam Collier's 24th, Edwin Arroyo 28th. And that's it. One last thing I wanted to look at here. Because the Twins now have Noelvi Marte. But I think that's it. No, I can't do Twitch. I don't know anything about it. And I just like having my YouTube videos, these lives be put right into the playlist. But I'm actually about to end this live here. The plan is we're going to have 2 episodes of spring training. They're not going to be live like they were in the past. And with those 2 episodes, they're going to be live commentary episodes. And then if I think that I had fun doing live commentary and I think the videos turn out okay, then that's what we're going to do moving forward, because I think it can make it a little bit easier if I'm on a time crunch. So look forward to the 2 spring training games. Like I said, they will be live commentary. And I think this team is built to win. We're 18th in baseball on paper. We got to really take the necessary steps to become a better team. Max Fried is the guy who should hopefully be a part of what can lead us there. His durability is a 39, which is concerning because he probably may become injured at some point. We got to get more than 31 games out of him. Or I guess that'd be pretty decent. So yeah, if you look at like 71 durability, 39, that 39 durability is just not good. I hope that doesn't result in him being injured a lot, especially with his age. It's a possibility. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go train that right now. That is what I'm most concerned about right there. Physical conditioning. I just want him to be durable. I want him to stay on the field. So, yeah, I would look forward to you catching it next time. Like I said, this was a team that was built now to win. We were aggressive in the offseason. And we're going to have 2 spring training episodes coming up soon. They're going to be live commentary, like I've said. And then we're going to get into the regular season, and we're going to slow it down, slow down the pace, and hopefully we can come away with a good team and a good year. So that's going to end this live stream. I got to get off of here. It's getting late now, and I got to enjoy the rest of my day. So that's going to end it. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.